Yeah, 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 yeah.
What's up, guys? Steven here today, and today what I wanted to talk to you about is Swagg Offense. So, as always, everything builds on top of each other. So, if you've been paying attention to the last one, which was tactical defense, this one would just make so much fucking sense. Alright. So first, I kind of wanted to break it into two parts. First part being how the individual moves, right? So his movement on the play. I kind of set this up already in the swag movement video, so I'm gonna go further in depth with that. And then the second part is essentially how it falls in line with the team and essentially the team lanes, right? So to get into like this, to go deeper into the movement, how I've been thinking about this is essentially the X, the Y, and the Z axis, right? I'm gonna use my own definitions, so I hope this makes sense because this is how I simplified it for myself, right? Now, imagine you have like a triangle, right? Now, imagine it's three-dimensional, meaning it has a base, right? Length and so you have the base, right? And then you have the length, right? Of it's an equilateral triangle, so all the sides are equal, right? Right. So you have the length of the side, but then it also extrudes out into the z dimension, meaning it looks something like this, right? It's not just a triangle, but it has like what do you call it? Depth, right? This is depth, right? So it extrudes. Now on top of that as well, imagine like right in the center there's like this fucking metal pole that sticks it right up. If a good way of thinking about it is like the movie in Inception, right? How, at the end he's like, am I still in a dream or not? And like he spins that tabletop. That's exactly what it is like, right? It's a triangle and then pinned with a metal pole right in the center, and it looks, and essentially it can do this, tilt forward, etc., etc., right? Now, to me, the x-axis meaning you're moving left and right. So imagine taking your foot and shuffling to the left or shuffling to the right. That's moving on the x-axis, right? The y-axis is moving forward and backwards, meaning taking your foot and shuffling forward or taking your foot and shuffling backwards. Now the z-axis and how I would actually draw it is a squiggly line like that. So you have x and y or straight, like solid lines, and then the z is like a wave, right? It's z. And the z-axis is essentially lean, the fucking lean. So you're here, you're leaning forward without ever moving from that spot and leaning backwards. Kind of like fucking Michael Jackson or fucking, what's his name? Fat Joe. Now lean back, lean back, lean back. So that's moving on the z-axis, right? Now, I feel like to like fucking have swag mastery of your movements, meaning to really reach the level where you can express yourself on another level, meaning you not only can move in a very effective manner, but it's almost like you imbue your soul into your movement, and so now the way you move is like a form of an expression. It's like pure creativity. And I believe that's when all those fucking tricks, like the Zinziva, the Rabona, fucking Ronaldinho's crossovers, Allen Iverson's crossovers, all those fucking moves, Kobe Bryant's pullback, the fader, Michael Jordan's shot. That's when all of those, it's from that place that those moves come about, because they're not really thinking about what they're doing. They're just being, like they're just moving. And so at that point, they're not playing with their fucking body anymore, but they're playing with their soul. And I would say the moment when you play with your soul, the moment you can introduce your soul to anything, that's when you fucking create a game changer, right? So the triangle to me is like a great way of kind of keeping myself balanced, right? Like, as I mentioned in another video, I was talking about how, like, a lot of times, for example, our stance, like the way you stand, right? Like, if you just stand up right now, most of us are not balanced, meaning in one way or the other, we're like maybe not flush, in a sense that that pole is not sticking straight up, but it's maybe leaning to the left or to the right, or maybe it's like our feet are not flush right at that center where all the fucking axes meet, but they're maybe like varying a little bit into one axis or the other. And so by bringing conscious awareness and like doing conditioning techniques, balancing agility, all those things, you can actually bring yourself back in line with fucking the center, right? Zero, right? So swag movement, that's one way of thinking about it, right? So when you're playing offense, first thing, don't even try to fucking do a lot of tricks, but just like walk with the ball and then be aware of like how you're fucking moving. Because a lot of the times, for example, I see a lot of people who they could have cut right, or they could have just touched the ball and shot it, but instead they touch the ball and then they go the opposite way, or they touch the ball and they hesitate and then they try to dribble again and they lose the ball. Or maybe instead of like just taking one or two more extra steps and then shooting it, they just take like a step back and then pass it backwards, or they maybe just rush things. Like instead of just taking their time to like remember, see the ball coming, trap the ball, and then overturn the momentum. They try to do everything too much at once, and so when their movement going forward is unbalanced. And so the sad thing though is soccer is like it's all about energy. And so the way that your energy is set up when you have the ball, it's going to be transferred on to your teammate whenever he receives the ball from you. So if you're moving with an unbalanced energy from the get, when your teammate receives it, or let's say even the last player on that link, right, on that chain, say you're in the play, there's like three players, or three players touch the ball, right? The last person to touch the ball might not even be able to finish, might not even be able to score because of the way he received the pass, right? So the pass has to be so fucking swaggy, like it has to be so on point, like so flush to where like you always want to be thinking about how can I make it my pass to where my teammate can not only pass it back to me, but he can do something with it, right? You're not trying to fucking break your teammate and give him like a shitty pass and be like, how can I make him run for it? Like it's all about your soul and your intent, right? And it's crazy because like when you play with people, even like just passing the ball back and forth, you can always tell where their intent is. You can always tell when someone is passing to you from a place of like pure, just ha ha ha, let's share fun, positive, as opposed to like when someone's like what I call like ego-driven games, where they're just like, I'm going to outshow you or show you how much better I am, like because their pass ends up being shitty, like they're like all over the place instead of just being right there, like right where you are, right? And especially in like offense more than anything, if you cannot pass to your teammate, you're fucked. Like you can't do shit. No matter how good those individual players are. If you guys cannot pass to one another, you're fucked. Because It's all about energy. And in a team game, individual energies and the way they connect affect and impact and are more important to the success of that team's performance in the game than their individual skills. Like, it's so fucking important. It's so crazy to see over and over. Like, how teams who literally should just be blasting the other team, like 35-0, are just getting wrecked over and over and over again because they cannot connect spiritually. They cannot make good passes. They cannot set their teammate up with opportunities that put their teammates or give their teammates the opportunity to shine because they're more seeking to the fucking glory for themselves. They're out for themselves. And so what happens is, yeah, that person might score a goal or two, but then they'll get injured, and then that's it. Or they might win for a good bit and then fucking be losing for even longer time. Like, it's like their performance is never consistent. But when you're thinking about like, oh, okay, I know I'm good. I know I'm fucking awesome. So I don't have to prove myself. I have reference experiences that show that not only am I good, but I also fucking work hard. Like, I work really hard. So that I already know that. I've already proven to myself that over and over. Okay, knowing that now, let's fucking play at a higher level. How can I be better? Not only for myself, but for other people around me. And when you add that last part for other people around you, it's like your life changes dramatically. Like, your fucking game changes dramatically. Your way of moving will just be so fresh because it's like fucking, sounds gay, but it's really fucking pure. Like, it's like even when you're going for a play and you're just taking it, there's like no ego. So that means like there's no resistance. And like your fucking potential just shines. Like, I can't explain it any other than that. But to those that constantly play it, it'll make sense. Like, you will be hitting that place, that sweet spot, that place that you play the game for over and over and over and over again. And it's just like not even a struggle, right? So that's how you think about it, right? As an individual, think about how you're moving along those axes, right? One amazing way another reason why I fucking love FIFA is just that, like, being able to kind of test, because it's like a flow chart, right? So you go down, here's a question. If answer is true, go down this way. If not, it's false, right? And then here again, if answer is true, this way. If not, it's false. And essentially, what I'm saying is, the more and more you play soccer, the more and more you kind of get that reference experience for you. Meaning, you will be in a situation on a play, and you're like, okay, there's two players here and one player here, and then my teammates there and there. What should I do? If I take the ball in the x-axis this way and the right axis and the y-axis that way. So if I go this way and then I lean just a bit on the z, these two will draw in, and then maybe I can even cut back and go the other way and beat them. Or I can cut back, take another extra step in the other direction and pass it to the teammate, right? So essentially what I'm saying is, the more and more you can find a way to create an environment where not only you're just playing for the sake of playing to win, right? Like, you're playing to fucking win. You're not playing to just be the best dribbler, etc. But you're playing to win, meaning the fucking team wins, right? If you can get a goal or two, cool. But it's not even like it's not a priority. Like, if you score, fucking awesome. But it's so funny. It's like, you feel so much better when you make a really sick pass than when you make a really good goal. I don't understand why, but I find that over and over, right? So when you set yourself up in that way, it's only it's like you only get fucking wiser. I think that's the word I'm looking for. And so all the situations you've been in teach you something like, oh, in this scenario, this is what I should do. In this scenario, this is what I should do. And it just grows with fucking age and the games and the amount of times, right? So that's an important way, or the winning mindset, to think about how you should be moving as an individual, right? Triangle with a tabletop, right? And how is your movement? Is it flush? And then are you playing with your fucking soul or not, right? Now, how this translates to the second part is that when everyone is on that frequency, like I talked about the frequency of collaboration, everything just kind of takes on this other pace, right? I don't know if you've heard of this before, but like the Earth is essentially made of magnetic lines, right? Meaning that there are what you call like fields, like magnetic fields. And to be honest, I'm not the best at explaining this. Meaning I can, but it's just a lot of details that I don't want to just confuse myself and even say the wrong thing. But just take it as that everything has a magnetic field, right? Because they have electrons, because they have protons, their interaction, and then neutron, and the fact that there are atoms, and everything is made of atoms, right? Everything also inherits the magnetic fields. This is why when you play with the triangle and with people, you're able to make use of those magnetic fields in such a powerful way. And I guess it's kind of another cause of playing with the spirit. Like you could say that when someone is spiritually connected with his teammate, they share their energy. And another form of energy that they share are the magnetic fields, right? Now, when you're on offense, what happens is you have to be on one wave and be really more in sync with each other and how far or how close you guys are from the goal. Because the point of soccer is to score goals, right? It's not to just fucking fuck around the whole time. It's to fucking score goals, right? Now, what happens is, as you're trying to score goals, there are obstacles that you encounter in front of you, right? There are other teammates trying to stop or take away momentum from your play, right? So you have to creatively find ways to go around that, or you have to creatively find ways to create space to where you can still move ahead and score the goal, right? Now, when you're playing together, it's almost like you will notice how one another or how you guys are playing with each other. For example, if you know that this teammate who's on the wing likes to go straight and then kind of edge even further out wide, what you're going to do is you're actually going to slide in the spot or the hole that he's leaving behind, right? So he's going this way, you're kind of going to be veering this way, right? And then if this teammate is good or is paying attention, he's also going to kind of creep in together, right? Because you're all always sharing energy. And that means that you're all also causing things to occur on one another. You can think of that. You're all pulling on one another or pushing on each other. And it's like simultaneous, right? So when you become consciously aware of things like this, you can fucking create magic. Like you can do shit that's like, what the fuck is going on? Is someone doing shit here? Like, is someone casting a spell? Like, because you're just aware of these like fundamental laws of nature that are at play, right? Fundamental laws of like energy that are at play, right? So to have a fucking swag offense, just be aware of one another. Don't play by yourself, right? For example, I saw like today, like this kid was fucking amazing. Like I could tell he was really good. So I like told him to take the ball, and it made such a difference because like you can always tell when people have a lot of potential, but for one reason or the other, they're holding back, and most of the time it's because their fucking teammate or their team is like fucking them up, like not giving them the permission to unleash their potential, right? Like they're like, nah, no, don't go forward, pass back, blah blah blah, like trying to tell them what to do as opposed to letting them play their game. And so I was so happy to see him take it, right? And like it made me so happy because then at some because he went from like just making small passes to just taking it every single time. And he would lose the ball, right? But I was more happy at the fact that he took it than he lost the ball because now he has that he you could tell, I don't want to say like he freed himself, but he like just told himself that it's okay to take the ball. So he grew confident in himself. And so because of that now, if he just stays in that mindset, he's set up in a way to where he's continually going to be growing those reference experience. If he's really smart and wise about it, like he's gonna notice, okay, oh shit, I'm going way too far. Like yes, I created a fuck ton of space, but because I'm 1 against 4, and even though I could take him, it'd be a lot more smoother to just kind of chill, slow down the pace, and then let like 1 or 2 teammate catch up to me so we can set up a play, right? And like it was so fucking amazing how like he instantly, like you can see how a player grows, and he started shifting and calibrating to do that. And that's the coolest thing, right? Because it's like a lot of times like people try to like try to get you to dumb it down, or they try to like get you to play small, or they try to like get you to like not be yourself, like not fucking take the ball when you can see that there's so much space, or not fucking let you do what you want to do because on some level they're kind of mad that they can't do it themselves, right? They're mad that they don't have that ability, or maybe like they've been told to essentially dumb it down as well. Like they've been told wrong by someone, and it like wounded them for one reason or the other. And so now they feel like they have to like wound everyone else. And it's just sad, right? And also conversely, a lot of times too, sometimes someone tells you something, like tells you to slow it down, it's not to wound you. It's to kind of just tell you, bro, you've got a lot of fucking potential. You can develop it. Take your time. There's no rush, right? It's always cool to kind of see how when someone tells you something, you can always tell where they're coming from. You can always see their intent, right? The place, like what is their motive behind that? Like you can always tell, are they trying to empower you or disempower you? That's essentially what I'm trying to say, right? So a Swagg Offense, you guys are just constantly empowering one another, right? And you're moving in line and rhythm in a way that like your magnetic fields are in sync and flush. For example, there's like 3 guys, 1 here, 2 on the wing, and then 1 guy forward, right? This guy should always be like either behind or in front of everyone, right? This guy leads the team, or he leads the play in a way that like it opens up the way for the other 2. Meaning he can take the ball. If he's a good dribbler, he can dribble it in, right? And it'll draw people to him. And then it gives these 2 people the space to either come in or just hang back and wait for him to collect the ball, right? It's literally like a tree with branches. And essentially what I'm trying to say is when you're connected, you can almost predict which branch your teammate is going to take. And the better you are at predicting and essentially seeing what's going to happen before it happens, the better you are at anticipating what the right choice is going to be, which will consequently lead you to being a more impactful player. Maybe you will help score more goals. Maybe you will help create fucking assists out the ass. Or maybe you will be that place that just creates space in one way or the other. Like, every time people turn at you, you're always like completely alone because you have that awareness, right? But my point was just like when you're thinking about that movement and how it's flush, it's kind of weird, but it's coincidentally because it's a team game, and I believe as again everything is energy, and like it's in a team environment and it's in a closed space, which will go into the swag geometry or sacred geometry that I want to talk about. You can almost it feels like every time you're flush, it's when you guys are magnetically sharing that field in the way that is most effective. And it's so funny how it coincidentally always works that way. So sometimes if you feel like you're forcing a play way too much, you probably are. And it just means you just gotta like let one person or two or however many kind of catch up with you and play with you. And if you feel like you're not like the whole team is not pushing the ball enough, that's probably true too. And so you have to be that person that like runs into space, that is the bruiser that kind of pushes and attacks. And like again, the way you will know when you're fully aware and you're playing with your soul, because it'll kind of pull up all these moments and how you can move in the most effective manner. It'll make you aware of when like a defender, for example, is off his line, and how you can like ninja in the most ninja way, sneak behind him and create a play or create a way in which people are looking this way and they can just lob it to you, right? Or it will make you aware of when, like, for example, this defender is accepting way too much pressure and he's not turning his body in a way that it allows or it pressures you to go to where his teammate is, right? So when you notice it, you can just take him and go for the goal, right? For example, this is when you're playing with this field, you can set shit up in such an incredible way. Like you'll be able to set up corners and free kicks to where they're so effective because you know that if three are linked together, you can create a game changer, right? So say there's a corner, just gotta position yourself to where the fucking triangle is set in a way that it encompasses all the possible ways that the ball could curve. And then you just make it to where all those possible ways your ball could curve, it would go to your teammates, right? And then when they kick the ball, oh, by magic, it's like it just went straight to a teammate, right? Because you were just there, that person that would move the fucking bubble of curvature, right? And same thing for free kicks, right? You know that they're trying to kick directly this way, so it can be that person that fucking amplifies the kick to where when he kicks it, it'll just bend perfectly to the goal, right? Because you're here, and he kicks it. You guys create this triangle, and it's crazy. I don't know if this makes sense, but I shit you not, I get mind blown every single time I see how real this shit is. Now, there's one interesting point that I really want to make, and the point is for soccer on offense to lead up to the moment to where you're going to shoot, right? So that means that at the end of the play, right, there is going to be a moment when someone shoots, right? Now, this is obvious, but not so obvious if you think about it like this. It means that the way, or what I'm trying to say is, your movement has to be swaggy in a way that at the end you add this circular movement to it. What do I mean by that? When you shoot the ball, you're twisting, right? So it's almost like you're creating a circle. Kind of like if you ever seen like tricking, right? It's like this form of like acrobatics, martial arts, and some parkour, right? But there's this move in there called the butterfly kick, right? And the stance is set up in a way that like you have to go. It's almost like you do this half moon like bow, and then at the end of it, you jump, and your legs go up like this, right? It's really weird, but check this out. And then there's a even more advanced version of that, which is the butterfly twist, where once you're in the air, now you add a twist over your shoulder. And so now you don't just jump and kick, and you don't just soar through the air as you're kicking, but you also add this twist, right? On the fucking, in the air. So you add this twist that propels you horizontally. It's crazy. But my point is, when you're shooting the ball, right, in soccer, you're going to have a twist. You're going to have this circular movement, right? And so it kind of opens the conversation to like the different kind of movements there are, right? There's like a triangular movement, there's a circular movement, there's a rectangular movement. I kind of don't want to get into this more now because I feel like it might just distract from the point of the video. But just remember that when to shoot, you have to be thinking about operating in a circular movement, right? Meaning you have to be thinking about creating motion or momentum in which your body twists, and then convert that motion, that movement, into the point of contact with the ball, right? So you generate this twist, and then it travels down to your body, and then it punches, and then when your ball or when your foot meets the ball, it punches it, converting that motion, right? And so my point is, as you're moving in unison with each other, when you're really connected, you will actually get a really fucking keen awareness of who is in the best position to create the most clear movement, or the most clear circular movement, to which now when they shoot the ball, it's so flush that there's no option for the ball but to fucking go in and soar through the net. And so that's how you know what to do on offense. You'll just get a good idea that, fucking George can easily fucking score. I'll just pass it to him. Or, oh shit, dude, I can just set it up, and then if someone can run in, I can pass it to them, or I can just shoot it if I want. But my point is, when you keep this idea of the circular movement in mind, it kind of just segues your movement to where, as the play unfolds, when that movement occurs, or when that shot occurs, it's just fucking swaggy, and it's like set up. It's online, because you're thinking about the movement, and it activates your awareness to where you're trying to think of the magnetic lines, but more importantly, your energy, and use your energy in the way that is most effective to make that circular movement as accurate and strong and efficient as possible. I hope this makes sense, because that was quite a mouthful. But it's something that I've never really gotten the chance to say, because I just didn't know how to explain it. But it's that, like, everything you're doing is going to lead up to that point when you're going to shoot. So as you're moving, think about that. That's why it's so important to not just put a fuck ton of like energy on the play or on the ball, because if you're like really close to the goal, there's no space to kind of funnel that energy or move your body in a way that you can line that energy up with the goal. Then all that extra energy is pointless. If you put the just amount, then like you're able to just do so much more, because not only will you be moving in a way or adding enough force or enough energy on the ball, but it'll also be malleable, meaning you'll be able to fucking finesse that energy. You'll be able to sculpt it, as opposed to when there's too much. It's like, gotta run after it, gotta tame it, gotta control it. That's what I'm always kind of talking about. Not too much, not too little, just right. Just right. Yeah. The solo is everything. And as gay as that sounds, it's the realest fucking thing. And I don't know how else to put it, but just that. So, hope this makes sense. Hope you guys got something out of this. And as always, swag fuck out.
Cannon.
Love it. But no one does it better. The machine is counting. So turn up your radios.
Goldfish and Don Cannon. The cool kids. Masterpiece.
The cannon.
It's about time, ain't it? Right.
Cannon.
I'm in the best shape of my life. Me rapping with these kids is like racing a bike against a man with one kick on until the lights flick on. They kick us out the party, then give me my car keys. We come in peace, we don't mean to cause you no harm, cuz but I can go off like an alarm does. If it comes to that, I trust you wouldn't do that, cause I'm the new cat digging in cans in the alleyway. Fuck Simon, you should do what Mikey say. And Mikey says about now you should be bobbing your head. About damn time too. Took fools all goddamn day to figure out the ill shit that we be into. Take a step into my mental. People that I be thinking about. People can deceive you if you leave them with your bank account wide open. Keep your eyes open and your wallet in your front pocket. Let's smoke, the blunt still an option. Vanilla suede moccasins, they mocking them. They rocking imitations when they duplicate the shit that I be laced in. The Dalai Lama like two types can never rhyme like vintage North Faces on the faces of your paper. Put your hands up in the air and you hold it up, hold them up. Like you never cared, nigga. Roll it up, fold it up, put it in your pocket, your wallet. Then bet a couple dollars that the party keeps rocking. Hands up in the air and you hold them up. Like you never cared, nigga. Roll it up, fold it up, put it in your pocket, your wallet. Then bet a couple dollars that the party keeps rocking. Hold 'em up. Roll it up. Hold 'em up. Roll it up. I'm about 3 feet taller than some knee deep water. Quarter nickel down, this assist to the line. The illest has a list, you're not in it, there's the line. He is I and I am him, this my main man Mikey. I'm real nice, try me if you want to. I'll be walking bulldogs to the party in these new flights. Telling sucker niggas what they can't do right now. Right down now a game plan. I'm cutting lights out, putting fires out in the Chevrolet truck. Don't put them hands down unless you pick me something up. Hurry up, call the barber up, get the sides faded up, the usual season. Then the neck gets tapered up, sharper than the paper cuts paper up, neighbor, or sharper than that church suit. Father's Day Taylor, what the father say to the daughter who picked me? He's ridiculous, but probably the best you've seen. Put your hands up in the air and you hold it up, hold 'em up. Like you never cared, nigga. Roll it up, fold it up, put it in your pocket, your wallet. Bet a couple dollars that the party keeps rocking. Hands up in the air and you you hold them up, like you never cared, nigga. Roll it up, fold it up, put it in your pocket, your wallet, then bet a couple dollars that the party keeps rocking.